In 1860, in the state of Illinois, a husband could have his wife declared insane, without a hearing, without a lawyer, without her saying a single word in her own defense. All he needed was a doctor willing to sign. Elizabeth Packard was the wife of a Calvinist minister in Manteno, Illinois. For 21 years, she kept his house, raised his 6 children, and sat in his pews. Then she started to think for herself. She began questioning his rigid doctrine, the idea that people were born damned, that women should keep silent, that a wife's opinions belonged to her husband. She started saying so in Bible class out loud. Her husband, Theophilus, had a word for that. Illinois law at the time stated it plainly. A married woman could be committed to an insane asylum at the request of the husband, with no evidence of insanity required, no trial, no jury, no hearing. On June 18, 1860, Theophilus Packard had Elizabeth taken from her home and committed to the Illinois State Hospital for the Insane. Her diagnosis in the record was not violence. It was not delusion. It was disagreement. She spent 3 years inside, not in a straitjacket, in a ward with women who were, by any account, deeply unwell. Packard watched how the institution ran. She kept notes. She organised the other patients into a kind of self-government, reading circles, informal courts, a system of order the staff hadn't built. The hospital superintendent noted more than once that she showed no clinical signs of insanity. He kept her committed anyway. Released to her husband's custody, then locked in a room in her own house, Packard eventually forced the question into a courtroom. A rare jury trial to determine, formally, whether she was sane. The jury took 7 minutes to decide she was. Packard didn't go home and stay quiet. She wrote it down, Modern Persecution, the Prisoner's Hidden Life, and she took the story to state legislatures herself. In 1867, 3 years after her trial, Illinois passed what came to be called Packard's Personal Liberty Law, requiring evidence, a jury and legal representation before anyone could be committed, married women included. She carried the fight further. Iowa passed a law protecting asylum patients' mail from being opened by staff. Iowa, Maine and Massachusetts all adopted outside visiting committees to check on conditions inside. State by state, she turned her own case into someone else's protection. She spent the rest of her life making sure the door that closed on her couldn't close on the next woman without a witness in the room. History's version of this story, for a long time, was simple. An unstable woman, committed by her husband, later released. The paperwork called it settled. Elizabeth Packard spent 30 years making sure the paperwork was wrong.